It wasn't a big deal at first, you know? It was just another story online, one you've read in the comments of a YouTube video designed to scare you into posting it on 8 other videos. You know the kind, where you die a horrible death or your crush will reject you if you don't spread the word. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but now it's the only thing I can think of. The comment started by saying that she hasn't left the poster alone in days, and by reading this she'll come for you. I don't even remember the exact wording because it was late and I was tired, and I'd seen 100 other comments like it before. I forgot all about it until she started coming after me. It started with little things, a flash in the corner of my vision, a strange shadow on the hallway floor. Then it got worse. I started to hear whispering when I was alone in the house, giggling, the sounds of footsteps. I now know that she was teasing me, sort of like how a cat will clamp its paws over a mouse's tail and bat at it before it kills it. Mirrors were the worst. She liked to stand just out of frame when I was brushing my hair, so when I shifted my head to get to the other side, she would be there, standing next to the bookshelf with her long tangled hair, matted with blood falling down her shoulders, and that grin. Oh God, that grin. Her teeth were always bloody. I was never sure if it was her blood or I don't even know. Every night it seemed to get worse. I would see her on my way to class in the rearview mirror of my car, dragging her talon-like fingernails across her own rotting flesh as I stared in terror. For a while I was putting it off to sleep deprivation. Finals, you know, and then she came to me. It was late, so late it was technically early. I couldn't sleep because all I could hear was giggling. I covered my face with the pillow and shut my eyes tight. When I felt something cold on my hand, I was paralyzed with fear. It was sharp, and it was cold, and it was moving down my arm towards my elbow. "Come out to play," she said in that lilting, upsetting voice I'd heard one too many times before. I screamed and sat up, but she was gone. For the moment. My biggest mistake was when I talked to her. I just stepped out of the shower and she was right there when I opened the curtains. I shrieked and stumbled back and she leaned down to me. "Why?" I asked. "Why are you doing this?" She told me why. It was because I knew something about her. That altercation ended with a serious head injury that landed me in the hospital. That's where I am now. I can't take this anymore. I'm just one person. It's too much. I know what I have to do. I think I always knew. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Her name is Nora. She should be there soon. Many people keep old photographs in places that seem strange to the average person. In closets, pantries, places like that. My own grandmother kept old photos of friends and neighbors in her linen closet. Either way, some of these photos get left behind from time to time. Owners of homes die, people move on, and the photos stay there. Some photos are of times, places, things that matter. Other photos are random images of times that were good. Some are of times that are bad. But at least one of these pictures is, without fail, a dead person. My grandmother had a picture of herself on the bed she died in, looking aged beyond belief. In my own home, I found a picture of the previous owner with a knife in his hand. The real estate agent who sold the place to me told me the man who had owned the house was killed by his wife. Every house has a picture like this. Just hope you don't stumble across your own. A young girl walking home from school found a small pile of Polaroid photos laying in the gutter. There were 20 in all, neatly wrapped in a rubber band. She picked them up, and as she walked, she started to browse. The first photo was that of a ghostly white man on a black background, standing just far enough away from the camera that she couldn't make out any features. The girl slid the photo to the back of the stack and looked at the next one. The photo was of the same man, now standing a bit closer. The girl flipped through the next several photos quickly. With each one, the man in the picture came a bit closer and his features were a bit clearer. Turning the last corner to her house, the girl noticed that the man in the photo seemed to be looking at her, even when she moved the stack from side to side. It frightened her, but she kept flipping them over, one by one. By the 19th picture, the man was so close his face completely filled the frame. His expression was the most horrifying the girl had ever seen. Walking up the driveway, she turned to the last photo. This time, instead of an image, there were 2 words: close enough. Hearing a scream outside their house, the girl's brother rushed to the door and opened it. All he saw was a pile of photographs lying on the doorstep. The top one looked like an extremely pale version of his sister, but she was standing too far back for him to be sure. Her son had been captured and was being held in a Vietnamese prisoner of war camp. They assured her that her son was in good health, and they had no reason to believe that the American POWs were being mistreated in any way. A few weeks later, the woman finally received a letter from her son. It read, "Dear Mom, try not to worry about me. They are treating us well, and I'll be released as soon as the war is over. Make sure that little Teddy gets the stamp for his stamp collection. Your loving son, John." The woman was overjoyed to hear the news, but was confused because she had no idea who little Teddy was. She decided to steam off the stamp and have a look. When she peeled back the stamp, she saw there was a small message scrawled on it in tiny, misshapen writing. It read, "They've cut off my hands." Everyone loves the first day of school, right? New year, new class, new friends. It's a day full of potential and hope before all the dreary depressions of reality show up to ruin all the fun. I like the first day of school for a different reason, though. You see, I have a sort of power. When I look at people, I can sense a sort of aura around them, a colored outline based on how long that person has to live. Most everyone I meet around my age is surrounded by a solid green hue, which means they have plenty of time left. A fair amount of them have a yellowish orange tinge to their aura, which tends to mean a car crash or some other tragedy. Anything that takes people before their time, as they say. The real fun is when the auras venture into the red end of the spectrum, though. Every now and again, I'll see someone who's basically a walking stoplight. Those are the ones who get murdered or kill themselves. It's such a rush to see them and know that their time is numbered. With that in my mind, I always get to class very early so I can scout out my classmates' fates. The first kid who walked in was basically radiating red. I chuckled to myself. Too damn bad, bro. But as people kept walking in, they all had the same intense glow. I finally caught a glimpse of my rose-tinted reflection in the window, but I was too stunned to move. Our professor stepped in and locked the door, his aura a sickening shade of green. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you'd like to, you can follow me at Twitter. The handle is @FuzzyPantaloons, and I'll see you all next time.